Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful, and we're beautiful, and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we may be at a turning point as it relates to internet culture. Because a couple years ago, I don't think something like this would have taken place. Now, what we're going to be talking about is the fact that Twitch was promoting Pokimane and a couple other E-Thot bimbos, and they're getting absolutely roasted because Pokimane, if you remember, came out and said, well, there are no female streamers like Kai Cenat. There are no female streamers that are that big and that prominent. I mean, completely ignoring VTubers. Completely ignoring VTubers and their contribution to online content creation, and they're mostly female content creators. Maybe that's sour grapes because Pokimane actually tried to enter into the VTuber scene and got absolutely smoked because she's not very good. She's not charismatic. She's not witty. She doesn't really have any redeeming qualities at all. She's an obnoxious, shrill bitch. And, you know, when she's not trying to steal money from people by white labeling, you know, cookie products and upcharging them double or even triple, she just sits in front of her camera and gives off the most shrill, annoying, obnoxious, just irredeemably stupid content that I've ever seen. So they got 3 Pokimanes. There are 3 of them now. They're producing. And this is some of the worst content that I think has ever been produced. And Twitch promoted it, and they're getting absolutely vivisected in the comments section. Now, you may be asking, who is Cinnabrit? Who is Cinna? She's the retard that in a conversation with, what's his name, NMPLOL, she's the one that said that Asmongold should be punished for his opinions. And when the simp in the car asked her a very simple question, what opinions should he be punished for? This dumb E-Thot piece of trash, this piece of ass, couldn't even answer. She basically short-circuited. I did a video on that, and that was incredibly amusing and far too revealing about just what low IQ individuals there are within the content creator space. It's such a simple question. If you were to ask me, like, if I were to come out and say, you know, I think Hasan should be banned from Twitch, and I think he should be deported from the United States because he's a terrorist, and he's a terrorist supporter, and he's, just absolutely irredeemably evil. If you ask me, well, why do you think that? And I went, well, you know, there's no way that I could come and make another video the next day and any of you respect me. Because I would look like a fucking retard, which it's exactly what she did. She looked like an absolute retard. Dunning-Kruger, Helen Keller, can't answer a basic question, and then just goes and makes content the next day like nothing happened. These people have absolutely no self-respect or self-awareness. By the way, to answer that question of why do I think Hasan should be banned? Well, bringing terrorists on his platform, glazing them. You know, I would understand if he brought a terrorist on his platform to have an adversarial conversation. That might be completely reasonable. But when you call that terrorist Luffy from One Piece, trying to make him into the hero, glaze him over and over. Oh, and then there's the casual threatening of a Republican politician, Rick Scott, which is making the rounds, where Hasan basically said that if the Republican Party cares about dealing with waste in Medicare, they would kill Rick Scott. This guy is an absolute troglodyte retard. He's a danger, he's a terrorist, and he should be removed. See, that's me answering the question. And by the way, America deserves 9/11 and all that stuff. I could go on and on and on about that. I can answer a goddamn question, but these bimbos can't. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why it's so hard when you make a declarative statement like Asmongold should be punished, and you're asked, what statement did he say that made you think that? And you can't answer that. I think that pretty much disqualifies you from having a voice in the conversation forever. That's just my opinion.
Ooh! Wait, did Twitch just gift?
What? Twitch?
Did you want
Twitch?
Thank you so much.
two?
Yeah, Cinna wanted one.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want
Twitch with 100 gifted subs. I'm so sorry about complaining about the app yesterday. I apologize. Please forgive me. I'll never do it again. Twitch, thank you so much for the 100.
100 is great.
Thank you for 100 gifted, Twitch.
Twitch, is it possible you could give some to Poki as well, too? You know what I mean? Even though she's offline. Like,
She
not
was
to be that guy.
Wait till I go live. But
She
yeah.
was supposed to go
No.
live.
Thank you, Twitch, for the 100 gifted. That's very nice. Thank you so much.
We love you.
Holy.
Too.
Wait.
Okay, Son, if you're here, this is the kind of vouch you could have gotten. I just want you to know.
Oh my God. And then they wonder why don't we have any viewers? Oh my God. So Twitch actually puts this out. This Sysathon with Cinnabrit, Valkyrie, and featuring Pokimane has been such a vibe. Oh God. Oh, that's so gross. The simps at Twitch are just disgusting. I'm just going to say it. We had to get in on the action. Oh, God. So I come in and very reasonably say, you platform terrorists like Hamas Piker. Perfectly valid. How about these vibes? They're ultra kawaii, no? Y'all love terrorism, so they're getting roasted. Is this an ad for ibuprofen? Oh, man. Alternate title, 3 abominable whores meet up to discuss how it is to be retarded. Oh, man. I don't know. Oh, man. I don't know what this is or who these people are, but it's surely just awful. I can't fathom how brain dead one has to be in order to waste any time watching this or deriving the smallest amount of entertainment from it. Sitting around existing isn't content or a job. So they're getting vivisected in the comments. I mean, it's bad. But it just goes to show you that it's not about gender. Because female VTubers have managed to corner and capture the market as it relates to this sort of stuff. Not their sort of stuff, but content creation. Why isn't there a content creator as big as Kai Cenat? Well, there is. They're VTubers. VTubers, especially those in HoloLive and stuff, have managed to really dominate the market. So, here's the deal. I have a particular disdain and disgust for streamer and streamer culture. Those who are familiar with my channel know this to be true. I don't like these people. I find these people to be gross, and it's not a gender thing because I say the same thing about Moist Critical. I mean, you know my feelings about Hasan. I hope there's no ambiguity about my feelings about Hasan. I don't think he should just be banned from Twitch. I think he should be deported from the country. I think his citizenship should be revoked under, use a terrorism statute. I think he should be removed from the country. That's my personal opinion. You can feel free to disagree. Send him to Gitmo, send him to Turkey. Just get him the hell out of the country because he is an anti-American, pro-terrorist individual. And I think that rhetoric I think it has led to real world harm. So yeah, I don't make, there's no ambiguity about my thoughts about Hasan Piker. But when it comes to Pokimane and them, I think it's just important to acknowledge the fact that there is a shifting of the culture. Where we would joke about, an army of simps and tier 3 subs and all that sort of stuff. That may still be true, but I think it's diminishing. And as people see how genuinely awful and unfunny and untalented and uninteresting and just how genuinely disgusting these people are and how vapid and brain dead they are, I think that people are waking up to the fact that, oh my God, it's sort of like a post-nut clarity. Like, what the fuck did we do? Who did we really, make popular? And I think that the internet is correcting this because they're getting absolutely spit roasted. And by the way, Cinna got spit roasted when she made that statement about Hasan. Or, sorry, not Hasan, Asmongold. When she made the statement about Asmongold, she got absolutely vivisected. And I think that is an encouraging sign because it seems like people are now holding these e-bimbos accountable. And I think that's a great thing. It's encouraging. I think that a lot of this, especially from Pokimane, is attention-seeking behavior. When she's irrelevant, she'll make some of these, clickbait headlines that people know aren't true because she knows that people are going to go out and respond to it. But I think it's important to recognize and understand that as these bimbos and as these E-Thots get more and more desperate, as they become more and more relevant, they're going to lash out in different ways. And these corporations like Twitch are going to have to extend themselves even further to try to prop them up, which is ultimately going to do more damage to their reputation in the long run, which for me is perfectly fine. If you want to go out on a limb to talk about how great the Sysathon is, I mean, they're getting spit roasted in their own comment section, not only about Hasan, but how unbearable that is. How unbearable that content is. And so, yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think it's interesting to watch the shift. Because this sort of stuff wouldn't have been permissible 5 years ago. Yeah, it just wouldn't. Twitch would have banned you. Twitter would have banned you. There has been a cultural realignment, and I think a lot of it has to do with Elon Musk buying X and freeing up people to speak their mind and realizing that the censorship industrial complex, that they had been manufacturing a narrative to prop up people like this, and now that that whole thing has essentially crumbled, we start to see people sharing their true opinion, and it's like individuals walking out of a cave for the first time and seeing the sun and seeing the sky. Like, wow, my whole world wasn't the cave. And so it's been really refreshing and really interesting to watch people come to terms with the fact that nobody liked these E-Thots. Nobody liked these bimbos at all. The only female content creators that people seem to like are VTubers, because VTubers are at least, and I should qualify because there are so many VTubers at this point. I'm mainly talking about, like, for example, like HoloLive, like Gargura, for example. Gargura is one of the biggest VTubers out there. She's massive. Very, very small, but she's massive. Singing at the Dodger Stadium, which I realize doesn't have as much weight as it used to when they let a bunch of demonic, degenerate LGBTQ people come out and at Dodger Stadium and let that sort of filth out there. But it still is a pretty big deal. And I think it's impressive to watch a lot of these VTubers with, millions of subscribers, millions of followers, and watching them, take control of the live content creator space. I think it's very, very interesting. It's been such a change over the last 5-6 years. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on my channel, I never shy away from talking about how much I don't like content creator culture, how much I don't like these people. I don't. I never have. I think they're arrogant. I think they're entitled. I think that a lot of these people basically won the lottery. That there's not 1 ounce of their content that's unique. Like, take Pokimane, for example, right? Pokimane is, I would say, a girl that is average when it comes to attractiveness. I mean, I guess it depends on where you live or where you're from. I grew up in California, so I was, I got to see a lot of really, really attractive women. Pokimane would be about a 5. When it comes to her content, from the stuff that I've seen, whether it be through the clips that I saw with her beef with It's a Gundam or any of the other content, I have not once ever seen a clip of Pokimane saying or doing anything that was in any way interesting, compelling, creative, captivating, nothing. I have never once seen even a fraction of a second where Pokimane was on screen where I was like, yeah, I understand. I get it. No, she is a 5 out of 10, no personality. None. No charisma. None. No creativity. None. Sits there and just basically exists. And that's what a lot of these e-bimbos do. That's what this Valkyrie and Cinna, that's what they're all doing. They're just existing. And in the past, that was enough. All you had to do was exist. Be a 5 out of 10 and exist. That's literally all you had to do. Well, things apparently are changing. And I think that's for the better. Because I got to tell you, I've had enough. I think that the audience deserves a better class of bimbo. I do think that the audience deserves a better class of E-Thought. Even Amaranth is stepping up her game and coming out and making some waves and actually being interesting and gaining relevance in a really fascinating way, which is basically to come out against the LGBTQ parade, the parade of delusional, mentally ill, disgusting weirdos. So props to Amaranth of all people. But the thing about Amaranth is, I've had issues with Amaranth and what she does and stuff. But at the end of the day, I at least respect Amaranth more than I do a lot of these other e-bimbos, because Amaranth actually does stuff. Amaranth has like a hot tub. She writes people's name on herself. Like, it's weird, it's gross, I don't condone it, but it's like, she actually does innovate, and she actually, in a weird way, she actually does put some thought and effort into it, which explains why she makes as much money as she does. It makes sense to me in a very unfortunate way why Amaranth does as well as she does. I'm not simping for her. By the way, I didn't believe her with that whole boyfriend thing, that whole thing to generate money and sympathy. I never believed that. I thought that was a scam, and in the end, it turns out I was right. Seems. But yeah, Amaranth at least does. Amaranth, I think, is probably 100 IQ points ahead of any of these bimbos in terms of IQ deviation. I think if you added up all their IQs together, we're talking like room temperature. Anyway, I wanted to do this video because it's just such an interesting thing. The culture is shifting. Bimbos are being put on blast. No longer do you get a pass for just being a woman and existing. And now these people are being held accountable for the absolutely atrocious content. And studios and companies like Twitch are being put on blast for the absolute simpery of promoting these E-Thots. And I gotta say, I'm here for it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.